Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thanks for having us.
So let's talk season two. You both play newcomers to the series. So what was that like for both of you to join this already established cast?
A dream. It This is a show with comedy heavyweights. We have New Girl, SNL, Workaholics, and I think Aimee both and I connected with just the joy of watching these people work and to improv and to do it on a show that talks about such important issues was a joy.
Yeah, I mean, it really is an all-star team, and I was fans of all of them separately, from their stand-up to their shows. And you're in there with the real deal, you know? I mean, even Blake not only starred in a very successful comedy, he wrote, produced, and starred. So very multi-hyphenate. Lamorne is a writer, a director, an actor, a comedian. So you're in there with the Avengers of comedy, and you're just thinking, okay, hopefully I can throw the ball back. So like Miguel said, it was just like I'm winning the golden ticket.
Well, I think for both of your characters, they add, really fun things to the new season. So for both of you, how do you think your characters change the dynamic of the show from season one to season two?
Particularly for my character, I play someone named Tommy, who's like Keith, an artist, but also he's unhoused in San Francisco. And so from season one, where we're sort of talking about racial inequality, season two sort of brings in another sort of social justice issue of like sort of representation and sort of how do we fix the problem of the unhoused community. But through Keith's lens, he now has this larger platform to start talking about other issues. But what does that mean? What does it mean to also be woke, but stake claim in other people's issues that are not necessarily your own? Like, what's that relationship like? Yeah, when do you listen versus speak out? Mm-hmm. And the show examines that in season two, and I think in a really fun but intelligent way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the end of season one, he, for the first time, has a public voice. He has somehow become the voice of this grassroots, plea for justice. And Lauda comes in and I think represents the bigger platform of that voice. So she writes him a $250,000 check. She gets him corporate sponsorship. She provides access so that he can actually reach the masses. And so what's so beautiful about the show is that no one is the bad guy. No one is all one thing. And she really challenges his ideals of what it means to just be a pure, raw, well-intentioned activist. But there's no free lunch. So once you accept that $250,000 check, can you still give a pure message, mm-hmm. but still, like, you can't have it both ways. And so I think that she really challenges because she's much more experienced. I mean, she's a CEO, venture capitalist, multimillionaire who's a self-made CEO. So she knows that in order to get things done, you have to work with people you disagree with. You're not just a garage band with your friends anymore. You have to deal with egos and a little bit of politics, and in order to get stuff moved forward. So there's definitely some clash there between those two characters this season.
Well, for both of you, what are you hoping fans get from the season?
I think hopefully fans get, one, good laughs, which I can promise you they will, but two, again, getting comfortable with talking about these important issues. And hopefully the show gives us, the fans, a lens to, have those tough conversations with their neighbors, because again, if we're not having those conversations out loud, they're happening in our head. And I promise you, nothing's going to get solved in that way. We need to be able to have these tough, sticky conversations and listen to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, there's inanimate objects talking and markers talking, and JB Smoove is hysterical. So obviously it's very
Nicole Byer is hilarious.
Yes. It's like the comedian Avengers over there. so that it's obviously very funny. But I do think, to just piggyback on what Miguel said, that I think it's very important. Hopefully, people leave with their hearts full and realizing that it's okay to think differently than someone else. You can still learn from each other and just be a more well-rounded human. And I think, I hear these stories of people not talking to their parents because they have different opinions, or people losing best friends because of different, and it saddens me, because I think just because a lot of my best friends think very different than me, and I kind of wouldn't have it any other way. They challenge me, they make me better, they educate me. And I think we've become so polarized of a world that I hope in a small way the show makes people be like, my dad's kind of old school and I don't really agree with him, but he's still my dad, and maybe I can ask him why he thinks a certain way and learn, and then maybe he can learn from me, and then they hopefully pick up the phone and call their dad. So that would be, I guess, my big wish.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for speaking with me today. I'm excited for everyone to see the new season.